Welcome to Firehouse Stories, where we tell behind the scenes stories of the fire department and people that work in the fire service. And my name's Bob, this is Doug, and we got Gary here today to tell us a great story. Gary started a couple of years ahead of me, so, pretty well like dinosaur poop and us.
Dinosaur, yeah.
Yeah, we're there, but
Way back.
when we started on the job, you rode the back.
Yeah, we'd ride the back of the truck, hang on for dear life. Didn't matter if it was pouring rain out or blizzard. You're hanging on the back and going down the street like crazy.
Yeah.
And junior man, I was a junior man then when I come on, and my job was to open up the front doors of 4s or 5s, and the doors would go up, and then I have to run back and get on the back of the truck. Meanwhile, trying to get my gear on, my boots and stuff, and out the door we go. And then back then we had a lot of fires. I worked at 5s, and I bet you we had a fire a day. And my job as the junior guy, I was the hydrant man, and we'd pull up just before you got to the fire. We'd hit the first hydrant, and my job was to get off the truck, put the hose around the hydrant while the hoses were being run down the street to the fire.
Well, how could you use the hydrant if you hit it?
Grab it.
Yeah, remember that was the thing, you came on the first thing in the morning or when you
Yes.
started your shift. Well, you got up on that tailboard and you made sure that you had your hose just exactly how you wanted it.
Yeah.
And we had this tool that was like about that big, called it a persuader, we used in the wintertime.
Oh,
Remember
the
that?
wintertime. Oh, yeah. I used that one time at a fire.
Yeah, I had to once as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
It was about this long, and it had a square hole and a round thing, and you put it on the hydrant. And
Because sometimes you couldn't open it, it froze underneath. And
Yeah.
You wouldn't, yeah.
anyway, so then when the truck was gone, I would take the hose off and hook it up to the hydrant. Back then they were called 2.5-inch hose. I think they still are, I guess. And we'd put a valve on one side, hydrant gate on one side, and then we'd hook up the 2.5 on the other side. And then we'd stand there and wait for the captain. He's down at the fire, and he'd go like this. That means
Yeah.
get the water going. So that was our signal, and we'd send the water down to the pump, and the pump driver would hook it up.
And you never wanted to send it down early.
No, one time I did.
And I did too.
Yes.
Yeah, I did too, yeah.
Because it's dark, right? And the captain, I thought he was going okay, but he was going, no, don't. So I turned the water on. The water goes up, and it went right up into the bed and filled the bed with charged line.
Yeah, then they can't. Oh, it's awful. I did the same thing, but it wasn't my fault. I caught the hydrant.
Right.
They went up, but I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and the aerial was sort of behind me, and we were waiting and waiting to say charge it, waiting for the signal, and he wasn't turning, and I wanted to get going, I wanted to get in the fire. I was missing it, right?
Yeah.
And finally, he inched it up, and he leaned out the window and says, "Charge her up, boys. She's had enough." So I charged it up and filled the bed. They weren't too happy with me. You walk in after that, and the looks that you get.
Yes, you idiot!
Yeah. Oh, holy jeez.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, Doug, you were a driver. You know what that's like.
I never ever charged the one without being told.
No.
Oh, you were perfect, Ray.
I was.
Yeah. Joe firefighter over here.
Yeah. And then some of the old pumps, when I come on, they had a bell on them. Remember the bell?
Yeah.
And the captain's supposed to go ding a ding a ding. That means charge it.
Yeah.
They got rid of the bells. I don't think it's bells
Yeah,
anymore.
the guy was sensible. He had to toot, honk. That's when he's charging. Yeah, everybody had their own signals on it, but.
Yeah. And then when the fire was out, we had to roll the hose and get all the water out of it, right? And roll up the hose and into a big donut type thing. Throw them on the back of the pump.
This is cotton jacket stuff too.
Yes.
So it got dirty. It
God,
wasn't
they're
like the rubber
heavy
stuff
and
that-
dirty and
Yeah, stiff.
stiff. especially sixes. Sixes were really stiff.
Yeah, and it would it was like sandpaper. you
Oh,
know?
jeez.
You'd load it onto the truck and you'd have to pull it through your hands, and it'd be like sandpaper. Your nails would be all chipped and.
And then when you got back to the hall, there was a hose tower. You can still see it at Old Fours and Old Fives. Well, Old Fives is it's a
Head shop now.
head. And then the junior guy again would have to climb up this crickety old ladder up to the top of the hose tower, and the guys would send up the hose up there to dry, and they put a chain around it and it would come up to the top of the hose tower, and then the junior guy would have to take the hose off and hook it over a wooden peg. There's maybe 20 pegs up there. And it would hang there for a couple of days to dry. And
Well, these ladders had been in the wall for
Oh,
how long?
jeez.
Since
100 years.
100 years, right? So
Yeah.
either both stations, like if you worked there,
Right.
you had to, the first part of your job was to make sure you knew where the good rungs were. So
Right.
the good rungs is what you used.
Right.
The bad ones you avoided on the way up.
And they were, like Bob says, they were just old wooden rungs, and you had to climb up these rungs like
You laid into the.
what are you, 25 feet up there?
Yeah, 25 feet up, and they used to go up all the way. And
Yes.
and they still did. And if you had any nerve, and the captain didn't see you, you could climb up and start looking at the signatures that were carved.
Yeah, into the brick and the
And
walls.
the brick and from well, they were building early 1900s.
Yeah. Somebody should go up there and take pictures of those.
I'll bet you that would be pretty.
Put them in a book.
An interesting thing to
If
do.
you're taking
You know,
one of the towers off.
in number
Yeah.
number 5's a head shop. I walked in there and I said to him, "So have you seen the ghost?" That's the guy
I
said.
heard there was a ghost in there. Blackie told me that.
Yeah, and he says, "Yeah, that's you." He says, "I used to work as a firefighter here." And the walls were really thick, like they weren't insulated at all,
Yeah.
but they were like 4 layers of brick, like 2-layer bricks,
Right.
and they had a gap in between. And on the really, really, really cold winter nights, you could hear the bats that got up and
Right.
they go as they froze to death and started clawing their way down the.
Oh, God.
It's funny, you talk about the runs on the ladders going up the hose towers. That's when the Health and Safety Committee jumped in,
Yeah.
and they said, when you're climbing it, make sure you have a hold of 2 different runs at the same time. And don't stand on the same run. That was
Yeah.
their suggestion.
It's like the old mechanics. Keep an eye on it.
That was the
Remember that?
safety committee. Yeah.
I got this sound in the truck. Whoever was out there. Well, keep an eye on it, right?
Well, these stations were designed similar, and they had the front part was where the fire truck was.
Yes.
But they were designed before fire trucks were internal combustion. They were when they were steam,
Right.
and they were pulled by horses. So in behind, they had like a stable area,
Right.
and sort of the truck went in like that. But there was 2 big poles that sort of went and supported the hayloft up above.
Yep.
And those poles were clad in tin,
Right.
and with about 37 coats of paint on it. But you could still see the horse bite marks in the tin on it. So
Well, those horses were so trained. When that alarm came in, they were ready to go, and all their rigging was in the ceiling. It would come down and land on their backs, and then whoever was the engineer, I guess, would tighten them up and bring the horses around to the front, hook them up to the steam engine, and off you go.
yeah. They'd be timed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be timed on
I
it.
heard a story that when they got rid of the horses, one of the horses went to work for the city
Yeah,
on the dump
yeah.
wagon or something like that. And every time he heard an alarm go, he'd be biting at the bit and taking off. And so,
Yeah, I know how he feels.
yeah,
Exactly. Can't take the fire out of the boy.
that's right.
So,
But we had some good fires. We had, like I say, we had a fire almost every day at Fives.
yeah.
That was down in the ghetto in Hamilton Road,
Well, that'll be our next stories. Some good fires
Yeah.
the next time you're out. So stay tuned and come back. And until then, please be safe, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.